Hi everyone. This is our first part in our Living in Advent series where each week one of us at Immanuel will be sharing a short video on Facebook or YouTube about what it means to live in Advent. My name's Jordan, and this week I'll be talking about hopeful living. I remember a time when I was a kid we were about to have this awesome sleepover with some of my best friends. We were going to go out to Blockbuster back when Blockbuster was still a thing and get this really cool video game that had just come out. And I remember running out the door of my parents' house. I was super excited as we were about to go get this video game when suddenly, out of nowhere, I had this strange sinking feeling. It was like, is this it? Is this truly going to make me feel happy? See, even though I was just a little kid at the time, my whole life at that point was spent living for those exciting moments that we all enjoyed when we were younger, whether it was friends, new toys, or birthday parties, making the sports team. But for me, it was in that moment that I realized even those big exciting things weren't going to truly fulfill me, and my hope had to be in something deeper and much more meaningful. In Matthew chapter 7, verses 24 through 27, it says, "Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like the wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house. Yet it did not fall, because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, the wind blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash." In this passage, Jesus had just got done speaking about true and false disciples. Now you might be thinking, how does that relate to hope? See, our whole lives, we are going to be tempted to build everything on either one of two foundations. One is Christ, and the other is the foundation of our own desires. This isn't to say that we can't enjoy fun times like hanging out with friends and Christmas parties and watching movies together. But our greatest hope we can never know is a life surrendered to the will of God as we await his coming. When we try to replace that hope with a hope in the world and constantly trying to fill that void with one exciting experience after another, we will quickly realize that that foundation will not hold up over time if our goal is to be like the one who builds his house on the rock. And so, as we are looking towards Jesus' return, we have to ask ourselves, how do our lives currently reflect where our hopes are? Would we say that they resemble the one who puts into practice the things that Jesus says? Or maybe not. And this is something that I'm still learning to grow in every day. So ask God, and I believe that he will show each and every one of us in our hearts ways that we could be more fully surrendered to him. And I believe that as we do so, the thing that in the end will truly give us a sense of hope that cannot be shaken is walking and growing in a deep and meaningful relationship with Christ in total surrender as we await his coming.